Oh, there it goes. Everybody look up and watch out. It's Keep Up with Stillvinsane. I'm here with the rest of the Keep Up crew. Let's get into some motherfucking shout-outs. It's time for some motherfucking shout-outs. Here we go. My homegirl, Serena from the Zona, not the Rona. She is from downtown LA as well. She is an actor of the Great Guild. I love her. You will love her. If you've seen Wonder Darkly, that is in movie theaters right now or on demand, you've seen her. So give a nice little welcome to Serena Laney. And who is your shout out this week, please?
Yay! My shout out is to Studio 24/7 in Hollywood. Hi guys. They're great. They're wonderful.
They are. Like I said, check out her IMDb. They are instrumental, just as like everybody else. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some of her more prominent roles. But first, we're going to get into what happened in politics this week. What the fuck happened? Here we go. That is so cool, by the way. Like, I don't really have that many friends where I could be like, yeah, your more prominent roles. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's mostly like, oh, well, you know, like your extra bits or something like that, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, your more prominent roles.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm like geeking out over here.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I love it.
Self-pardon. Who does that? The guy that you voted for, probably. Not me. I didn't vote for him. Not that like my vote was like really that dope anyway. It hasn't been dope since Obama, but like in between then, like I was trying to make history again with the first lady, and that didn't happen. She was a little corrupt, but she was no more corrupt than anybody else. I say that all the time, so I had no real problem. It's just that she did my man Bernie fucking dirty, just like Elizabeth Warren, man. So I don't know if I'll ever forgive Hillary and Elizabeth Warren ever again for that. But did I put the wrong link? I thought this was a self-pardon link. Where's the self-pardon? Here we go. Okay. 68% on an ABC News poll oppose his self-pardon power. We don't know because nobody's ever done it before. Pardon powers, if for anybody that knows, have pretty much unlimited reach. You can pretty much pardon your parrot. You can pardon anything. So Trump has not really done too many illegal things. I know that and I'm not a fan of him at all, but he definitely doesn't do anything traditional. So that's why a lot of people are afraid that he will pardon himself. He'll pardon his family just in case. And I don't blame him, to be honest, to be thinking about it at least because, well, he's corrupt, but, you know, keep it consistent anyway. But, they've done some crazy ass shit, the insurrection, all that kind of stuff. And they're really after him. Letitia James in New York, they're the Southern District of New York, like one of the most famous districts in America. They've already made it known that they have like real criminal cases with his tax records, all that type of shit. Serena, how do you feel about all this?
I honestly had no idea that it was even a possibility. Like when the story broke out about him possibly considering pardoning himself, the news was coming out with like, oh, he might potentially like step down in order for Mike Pence to step up and then pardon him, like turn around and pardon him, like, which seemed like the only really legitimate way he would be able to get pardoned. Like, I had no idea it was an executive power, to be honest, to like just pardon yourself. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to happen. I feel like he's definitely going to pardon his family members if he hasn't already done that. But that also says, like, isn't that like a federal level power? So he would be able to pardon on the federal level, but states like Georgia, obviously you mentioned New York, like they could go after him for like state crimes. Like, is that right? Okay.
I believe so. And Letitia James said that on Twitter and in her press conference. And shout out to my friend Andrew Smith. He might be a guest on the show soon. We will not be talking about this. So try to etch it in now because if he's here, you will not know that happened. I will not be mentioning that at all. But he is on that case with Letitia James, and she shouted him out. He is the one where they pulled down his mask and they maced him while he was protesting unprovoked. And then from what I see he's my friend too. So like, maybe it's biased, but I've never seen him, and he's worked in education for a long time. He's an esteemed fellow. Yeah. And then they bragged about it right after. So he is rightfully so. He is taking action against them. So again, we will not be talking about that then.
Yeah.
Just let you know. But, and I feel bad that you were near the protest. We were talking about that in the pre-meeting. It's necessary. And it's weird because I wouldn't say this again. But a lot of conservatives that have spoken to me, they go, well, everybody's protesting. What about lockdowns and masks, blah, blah, blah. And at the time, maybe, I don't know if I regret it. And I don't know, again, I think I wouldn't say it again. I used to be like, well, I think racism kills more than a virus, to be honest. Mm. And I wouldn't expect them to understand that. That might have been a waste. But yeah, that's how I felt at the moment. I don't know if I feel like that now. We've lost a lot of family members because I don't want to discount anybody's life. Like one of my friends or my family members that have lost someone. I haven't lost anybody in my immediate family, I don't think. But definitely close. Definitely pretty close. It's come way too close for comfort. So again, I don't want anybody getting lynched, and I don't want anybody dying out of an autoimmune deficiency. I don't want that either. So
right.
Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it is crazy, and it is one of those hard things because you want to be. Well, first off, no one alive at this point has gone through a pandemic like this. Let's say, the last time was the Spanish flu, right? And most, if not all people who went through that, are dead, or, maybe they don't remember it at all because it was 100 years ago. So no one in modern times, understands how to go about it or how the experience is supposed to be. And we can listen to, government bodies who tell us what to do and, how to do it. But usually people are just unless there's a bear running at you, you don't see the danger in bears attacking you, right?
Except for Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right. Yeah. He has first-hand experience.
Might be a little indifferent to that.
Yeah. But,
I feel you on that. I feel you, though.
Yeah, it's a different thing, and I can't fault anyone for being upset about, any of the, the prevalent systemic racism in the country that obviously, came to a head last summer. I can't fault anyone for wanting to step out in the streets and protest for that. It's just really hard because it's we're in the middle of a pandemic and from what I saw, everyone that I saw go out into the streets for the protests, they were masked up. So I feel at least they were conscious enough of that, and it's completely different from people who are stepping out and being they're taking my rights away because they want me to put on a mask. That's that drives me crazy.
I know, trying to get Orwellian on us.
Yeah, right? Which does not make sense.
Right, I know, and I hate people that quote Orwell. I'm just stop it. I love your book spread right there, but I guarantee you if I did that for most of the people that try to say 1984, I guarantee their whole book space is just Harry Potter. Guaranteed.
They found the Orwell on the website, on a
exactly
a quote on Instagram. Yeah.
Please. They know nothing about it. Know nothing about literature, assholes.
Yeah.
Lowest approval ratings. We knew this, but now he's at 28%. He's around 28, 29%. It just keeps dipping lower and lower. This is according to CNN. So this is his little enemy, site. So, if you don't believe in CNN, tough shit. But, most of them have, reported this. A majority, 54% said that he should be removed. He should be removed before January 20th. That is really bad. For me, again, I did not vote for him. I don't like him. But that must be really bad to know that you voted for someone that got impeached twice, that the American people and his constituents and his colleagues do not want him in here that bad that he can't even get to the inauguration.
Right.
Wow. Like even Bush made it, Obama made it. You were talking about, we were talking about pardons, Gerald Ford is the one that pardoned Nixon. I don't think Bill Clinton got pardoned at all. I know Jared Kushner's dad got pardoned. I know that happened. But anyway, yeah. How do you feel? Do you have any family members that are in denial of the election still? And are they also in denial of these approval ratings? Do they think that this is also fixed?
Yeah, that is a really good question. I do have some, on my dad's side, they're all from Georgia. Okay. So we do have some like extended family that are very like into Trump, and believing that whatever happened in the election was, not legal. But we don't really talk to that side of the family as much. It is really hard. I do see like a lot, and this is another thing. Like, I don't know how much you jump on Facebook and like do the doom scrolling, but I do have some friends who are, or like old coworkers who are legitimately like intelligent people, and then they keep pushing like the conspiracy theories. QAnon, and then even like doubling down on the insurrection, saying, oh, it was Antifa. And like, it makes no sense from all kinds of levels to say that and then say, I still support the fact that they wanted to protest and push in. And it's like, okay, so are they Antifa or are they supporting Trump and they are like pushing for the insurrection because Trump told them that this whole election was a lie? Like, it can't be both.
Yeah.
And it's just really weird to see that, but no one's close enough to me that I can like actually talk to them and be like, hey, let's be real. Like, how are you feeling? Why did you come to this conclusion? Because again, like legitimately intelligent people, that somehow have fallen into a misinformation trap, I feel like.
Yeah. I definitely felt that vibe. You had a very mixed vibe at your wedding party, and there was this one person that was trying to bait me into an Israel conversation.
Oh, and, really?
Yeah, it didn't happen. Like, we talked about it briefly, but like I noticed that he was trying to bait me in, and I was just like, no, I'm good. Never mind. Never mind. Like, I want this to be recreational. I don't need this to be like whatever. I didn't know what his motive was. Oh well.
Right. Well, I apologize on behalf of that. That was supposed to be a wedding where everybody was drinking.
Oh my God. I'm a big boy. It's all good. I can navigate through those. Wow. Even more statistics. Misinformation, according to Vox and some other outlets, is down by 70%. I don't know if anybody's shocked about that. Are you shocked about that, Serena?
Oh my God. I'm not shocked about it. And I only wish that like it could like spread out into more. I feel like fact checkers should just keep going and keep pushing. Because the less it's out there, it's like everybody believes like whatever is on the internet is true. And it's just so wrong to think about that, because you're not thinking critically at that point. You're just like swallowing information, even if it's incorrect. So the fact that it's like down that much, like, I love it. Keep going.
Yeah, right. And we didn't even say the cause. I think a lot of people know it's because he is banned on pretty much all social media platforms. Mr. Matz, the founder of Parler, was in a interview I was reading on Business Insider, and he said the biggest reason why Amazon dropped him after Apple and Google services did is because he had tried to become User X. He was trying to negotiate with Parler to become User X after he had been banned, and he wanted to be User X on Twitter, and he was trying to orchestrate that, and he was just trying to be like, I don't know. It was like he was trying to do some bullshit, and Jared Kushner supposedly was the one that put a stop to that. He was like, dude, you are not making shadow accounts on different platforms, you dumb fuck. Like,
that is crazy.
Right, and if Jared Kushner is trying to, like, this guy almost started another Palestine fucking Israel war, and he's only like bragging about like countries that don't even like give a fuck about any of that either, to be honest. Talk to me about like Jordan or like Egypt, places that actually want to, like, not that they should, I'm not trying to like, incite violence.
Yeah.
Places that actually want to blow up Israel. Like that, I will be impressed. Not Saudi Arabia that's like already like in cahoots with us. Not a place that like fucking just let women drive like 4 years ago. I don't give a shit about Saudi Arabia and Iran and all that. Get the hell out of here. Anyway, my bad. Back on to some more positive news. Some people don't think it's positive because, she did lock up a lot of people. But what prosecutor does it? Name me a prosecutor that doesn't like throw people in jail. Like we talked in the pre-meeting, it sucks that people of color have to be something else. You know what I'm saying? I know, and on the show, I've had guests where we've talked about Obama, and I say it's sad too on his part that like he can't he deported all these people, he sent drones and blah blah blah. And I'm like, what did he do different than any other president? I thought that was part of the job. I don't love to deport people. Don't get me wrong. But if I was president, I would probably have to deport people. Like, that's not something I agree with, but like, that's not something I would probably get impeached if like I didn't deport anybody. Like if I deported 0 people, like if I just let people flood into the country. Yeah. It's just unrealistic sometimes where like people's ideals, like mine, I have ideals, but sometimes they just don't match up with reality. Sometimes like, including mine, including my own, including yours. So it's just weird. But Kamala Harris, back to the point, she resigned from the Senate. There was a lot of conspiracy theorists out there that were trying to say because of Sidney Powell and fucking Giuliani and all these guys that like basically she was waiting until the coast was clear. Like basically like until all the court cases had superseded. So she called up Gavin Newsom and she's going to be sworn in by Sotomayor for the inauguration. She will be our first female vice president. I wish we were saying president, to be honest. I know that like a lot of people are like, Vince, don't be greedy. But I'm like, greedy? We've been around this country for fucking 500 years. What do you mean greedy? Get the hell out of here. So again, I wish we were saying our 30th fucking female vice president. And I wish we were saying like our 50th fucking, 50th. We're not even up to our 50th president, but still. But again, I would, like I said, and I'm big on board for Andrew Yang. I'm all about diversity, man. I really am. Like, I don't want somebody that's like, let's say that like there was a tie between you and some other white person, some just like vanilla white person, and but if you were worse than them, like I wouldn't want you to progress. But like if you were about the same, I'm going for diversity. I'm going for like either the woman, I'm going for the person of color or something like that, because it's not enough just to bring a talented person. I need someone for the culture. I need someone to bring other perspectives. I need someone. Yeah, like there's a lot of these laws out there that are against women, that are against gays. You were talking about the pandemic before. A lot of people would dispute and say that the HIV/AIDS is not even done yet, and it's still a pandemic. Ebola, all those types of things. A lot of people consider those, and we really missed the ball on that. Like millions of people died in the AIDS pandemic and the AIDS epidemic. Like it was crazy. So, yeah. I was long-winded on that one. But I'm very happy that Harris is about to get sworn in. How do you feel about that?
I'm so excited. It is one of those things where you said, you were ready to vote in our first female president. And I will say I did vote for Hillary as well. And I remember before it all went crazy on that day, it's so vivid to me, like how much it would mean to see a woman up there. Because what you're saying is like, it's good to have diversity, not just for a different perspective, but so that can be reflected for other people. Mm-hmm. Like I've never considered becoming president. I don't know if it would have changed if maybe there were more women presidents. But I just knew it was never an option just because I was like, well, that's an old white guy. That's, you know what I mean? And I think it hits.
It's still sad to hear, even now. It's still very sad. Even though it's more of a reality, like it's so sad to hear that. Yeah.
But it's changing, right? Like,
yeah, it is. Slowly and painfully.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for it. It's going the right direction as slowly as it is. I think this is a win for history for sure.
Nice. I am so jealous of your lighting. They have great lighting.
Oh my God.
Anyway, the inauguration, Trump will not be there. That's the big highlight of that one. Sorry. I don't really have that much to report on that. Have you ever thought about attending an inauguration one day? Obviously not this one. It's okay. Sleepy Biden will not see us in the crowd.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't like standing for too long, and I get bored.
And I went to a couple Coachellas with this person. She doesn't like standing too long.
Well, listen, like I was dancing. I got to sit in the grass. Like there's a lot of, activity, but and just being in a crowd for a really long time, I just tend to stay away from stuff like that. But that is a life experience to do that. I mean, have you gone? Will you ever go? Or
I almost went when I was working for Major League Baseball. It was a non-profit affiliate, so they had rules, and so they considered that protesting. They considered that. So I was just like, I just won't wear like their gear and stuff like that, and they didn't want to risk that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so I did not go. I wanted to go for Obama. I would have cried.
Yeah. It's
weird because I was watching this documentary called Uncle Tom, and it was about like Candace Owens and Leo Terrell and a lot of those black conservatives, Mark Tamer. There's a lot of them, and it was interesting. It didn't make me feel any differently about them. I do think that there are a lot of black conservatives that are wrongly labeled that. But as far as the people that were in it, they are. So, what was my point? Sorry. Oh, my bad. Even them, the hardcore conservatives, even those people that I've seen make literal statements about Obama, they admitted that when he got nominated, didn't matter where they were. I think Candace Owens might have been a Democrat at the time. Maybe not. But she said she cried. And they all said it. They all said they cried. They all said it was a significant part of history. They all said that they were in jubilation, and it didn't matter what party they were. And that's how I felt too. That's exactly how I felt. And that's how I would have felt for Hillary too, to be honest. I would have felt the same way because I hate saying underdog because like I don't want it to be like some film like cliche or something like that.
Yeah.
No, I just want representation. I want Native Americans out there. I want the Filipino community out there. I want them all making decisions about our lives. I just don't want, like you said, the same old white guy making decisions for me.
Right. Yeah.
It's very boring.
That's great. Do you think that maybe how would Tupac feel about it? Like the day of Obama's inauguration. I always think about that. Like whenever I hear a song, I'm like, man, what would he think? And not to trivialize any of that, but no,
not at all. Probably he was like, Serena, it's all in my song changes. That's
I know. That's literally the lyric that I'm thinking Tupac.
Right?
If you could just see, I mean, obviously the country is still in has a lot of work to do. But
he would be perfect in this time. You're right. He would be making beautiful art at this time. And I'm not even a big fan of his rap. I mean, I'm a big fan of his albums. I'm a big fan of his songs and stuff. But I've never considered him like a punchline rapper. But like you said, when it comes to moments of clarity in times of chaos, he's perfect to go to. Perfect for his lyrics and poetry. I totally agree. He would be great for this time.
Yeah.
Like I said, Giuliani is on the impeachment team. After the election, McConnell is going to take up the Senate. There's rumors that he's going to vote to impeach him as well. Liz Cheney, she faced a contest from her own party for stating that she was going to vote for his impeachment. They're also asking for Ted Cruz to resign. So Senator Haley from Missouri. Yeah, man. Do you feel like this is right? Because I was speaking to one of my conservative friends. And he was like, well, whenever you disagree with a liberal, they try to throw you in jail. And to me, again, I don't want to adulterate your opinion. I was just, name a time you didn't break the law, when that happened. You know what I'm saying? Dinesh D'Souza, a lot of people were like, well, on the other side, like, oh, well, Obama, he threw him in jail. I'm like, well, show me where he didn't break the law. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't break the law, Democrats, liberals, it doesn't matter. Independents, Ross Perot, no, they can't throw you in jail if you don't commit something. We're not Russia. I haven't seen where someone didn't commit a crime.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't OJ. It ain't. Right, and even that's in a reasonable doubt. Man, it could have been his son.
Yeah.
Right, it could have been Mark. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
How do you feel about all that, Serena? I know it was heavy, but how do you feel about all that?
Yeah, there is a lot to unpack, I think. Obviously, I don't agree with Holly. Like, I just keep thinking, like, that photo of him with his, like, fist in the air, like, during the protests. Holly, the senator from Missouri.
Oh, Holly, yes. Sorry.
Yeah, yes. I feel like it's so...
That was bad, by the way.
Yeah.
That was bad. You can't get rid of that memory.
You can't be like, well, no, I saw like a friend from across and I was like, hey, friend, we went skiing together. Like, there's no way that picture could have been misconstrued as something other than what it was. And it is really complicated. I, in my anger, would love to see them resign. Because to interrupt like a process of government or to be on the sidelines to push misinformation only for their own political gain, because really, what is the point beyond that political gain, right? Like, I just think if they're not doing it for themselves and to further their own careers, they're really the information isn't there, obviously, to overturn like our electoral system.
No.
And I just think it's really funny to have these people be like, well, we have questions and let's push and tell people that we have questions about this like process.
And no answers are ever good enough, by the way. I know. You're right. They always ask questions. I'm allowed to ask questions. Why won't you let me ask questions? Go ahead.
Right.
Sorry.
But then 4 years ago, the Electoral College literally voted someone who did not have the majority of votes. And where were our questions? I saw a post about like when Democrats lost 4 years ago, you know, they wore pink hats and donated to Planned Parenthood. Like, that's what we did, you know, like, not to like lump myself into, you know, I feel like I'm pretty moderate and I kind of like try to see all sides, but I was upset at that. And for people who don't have any reason and to have people in power to push that misinformation, I feel like I just don't know what he could be charged with or what they could be charged with. I would like to see them step down, though, honestly.
Inciting a riot, causing insurrection, yeah, like you're not allowed to incite a riot, like that's not okay.
But it's like where the evidence for that, at least for the Holly,
you're right.
Yeah, it's like where you know.
It is. You're absolutely right. And so when it comes to resigning, and I'm not trying to level it, but Al Franken, Michael Weiner. I just feel like Republicans, it doesn't matter what they do. They could be like, they could make Roman Polanski type crimes. Yeah. And if all they have to do is just deny it, just like Trump. That's why they loved Trump, because Trump, that's all he did. He would just be like, well, he said he didn't do it. So, he told me that and he told me so. And we went on the side and we talked about it again, and he said that he didn't do it. So, like, you know, that's good enough for me. And so Republicans were just like, finally, God damn, someone who doesn't like talk like CNN. Like, to me, it's just like, I'm guilty until I say I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm innocent until I tell you otherwise. Like, right. And So again, those were real. I feel like Franken should have resigned. I feel like Weiner should have resigned. But the Republicans never know. They're a little tone deaf when it comes to that kind of shit, because me personally, I would have never done what Ted Cruz did. It's funny because he was one of the lawyers. He was one of the counsel for the the election during Al Gore and Bush. He was on Bush's council. And so you would think such a landmark case. And to be honest, like, even though I felt like that was rigged, I felt like they did everything according to the law, at least. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, even though it was rigged, at least they abided by the law. At least they didn't like do it like illegally and shit like that. When it got to the Supreme Court and Scalia said, which I totally disagreed with, but at least it got there. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least it got there. And he said that he didn't want to embarrass the country. Like, what would he be saying now? He didn't want to embarrass the country to illegitimize the election. That's what he said in his decree.
Yeah.
He didn't want to do that. And counting those last votes in Florida, the Kane Chads would have did that. What the fuck? Like, how the hell did we go from that to here?
I know. Yeah. No, it's insane. I feel like anyone who, and this might not be for all people who have voted for Trump and who still support him, but I feel like a lot of them, like, it gets to a point where you don't have to, it's not like a football team or a basketball team. You don't have to go hard for this person till you die. You know, like, they're there because you elected them and then they're gone when it's their time. Like, he's not a king. You know, we don't have to stick with him and like double down on all of what he says. Like, even when there's like obvious evidence that he's lying, it's an interesting time, and I'm just excited for these next few months to just kind of like ease him out of maybe my news, maybe my Twitter feed. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he's going to be bigger than ever. I don't know.
I'm not going to lie. It is dangerous to censor anyone, even if it's a private platform. I'll continue to say that. But you're right, man. It is beautiful on Twitter. It's like when Bloomberg, and I think Bloomberg did it a couple times. He made like some restrictions on some cars. So he would like do non-congestion days or something like that. And he would like ban certain type of vehicles or like taxis or something like that. He would like ban them for like a day. Yeah. And you would see again, obviously that doesn't benefit everybody. That wasn't that cool for, everybody. But you saw the clear difference. Or when they go on strike. Let's get to that actually. So that's non-controversial. When they go on strike, like when taxis go on strike, when buses or MTA or like the transit authority, you see a clear difference of how the city looks without those vehicles. It's crazy.
Yeah. That is interesting.
Yes, yeah. So I compare it to that. Real quick, before we go, Sotomayor condemns Trump. There has been an uptick, especially with females getting executed. There was a time, there was a few during the Obama administration, but they had hit a snag for a while, and now there has been an uptick, especially the last month. So we have people like Dustin Higgs. We have, Higgs is the big one so far that Sotomayor is taking action to. So I don't want to get too deep into that. I want to get more of your opinion on it, actually. It doesn't have to be just this case. And sorry if I'm putting you on the spot.
No.
What is your ideology on the death penalty in general? Either statewide, federally, ideology, like whatever.
Yeah. In general, I am against it. I feel like, if anything, for the amount of money that we spend
it is expensive
on lethal injection, and also just the idea, like the concept of possibly, killing someone who may have been innocent. Like, just the idea of having someone's life in your hands, like that just scares me to think that. I mean, but also, again, like, I'm like really, like, I love true crime documentaries. And so I do feel like
we're gonna have lots of that if we get rid of the death penalty. So, I don't know, man. I'm trying to weigh out my entertainment options here, guys.
I'm just saying that there are some people who, like, obviously deserve it wholeheartedly. Like, that person, there's no, like, like the what is the term, recidivism? Like there's no coming back from.
Oh yeah, they don't treat it like rehab. There's people who don't treat it like rehab.
Right.
They treat it, you're right, as like a place that you're just sentenced to forever. Like you're just a criminal. Once you're a criminal, you're always a criminal, which is dangerous because even in the Constitution, where you're 3/5 a person, so is a criminal. So like if you're a slave, you're 3/5 a person, or if you're so like it's no distinction. And not to to get back to your point, it's either if you're poor or a person of color, and now. Again, women have been being incarcerated a lot more too. It's been a huge, a lot of equal playing field, like getting into those kind of opportunities. But there's a lot of men that are putting women as drug mules, and that's why that's happening. Yeah. And there's a lot of women, again, that are taking up operations that men were taking over. Yeah. So I totally agree with you. Agree with you.
Yeah. And then on top of that, making jails or penitentiaries, the privatization of it, that just feels so wrong.
It is wrong
on so many levels. Yeah. So I think that there are better ways to go about, justice in this country. And in general, the justice system has a lot of work that needs to be put into it. And I don't think that the death penalty is the answer, even if it's we don't know what to do with this person. They're obviously not going to change, or something's not going to get better. We've been doing all these psychological tests on them. Let's keep them here until there's a better thing, as opposed to let's spend all of this money to kill them.
Yeah, and I'm not even religious, but I don't think that's our job. I don't think it's, I don't think that's our job. Right. I don't think it's our job to kill people, even if they had killed someone else. And I know that's extreme, and especially I've never been in that situation, so it's easy for me to say that. So maybe my tune would change. Maybe I would turn into Liam Neeson if someone would kill one of my characters. But for now, I'm not. For now, I only have a special set of skills that is not going to happen in the near future. So no, but I would like to think that I wouldn't get Samuel L. Jackson in A Time to Kill. I would like to think that I would not go vigilante style. Yeah. But who knows? Yeah. But let's get into some entertainment.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
What the motherfucker fuck did I hear? Do a little clap on that. R.I.P. Phil Spector. So I'm only giving this because, again, there has been a lot of news with QAnon and stuff like that. I'm not trying to fan that, by the way. I'm not trying to fan. But I do agree that there's a lot of crimes like that happening. I do agree there's a lot of crimes like that happening. And I don't go on the rooftops and go, it's Tom Hanks. It's Joe Biden. I think you're stupid if you're just gonna pinpoint it on people. There has been some smoke in some areas though, like Charlie Sheen, what's his name? Corey Haim wrote love letters to him supposedly. There's some smoke in some areas. Corey Feldman has been sued a few times. He's tried to uncover a lot of things. But that's not even just saying this is not his pedophilia. Sorry. Phil Spector, I'm just saying he's very controversial. He has been arrested. He was in jail. He died of the COVID. But he's also very influential in the music industry because he was one of the founders of Ike and Tina Turner's career, John Lennon, the Beatles. So just saying that, just putting that out there. He sounds like a terrible human being, though, but obviously he's contributed to the music. Are you familiar with Phil Spector?
Not directly. I know that he was – I read that he's the guy who – turned producer, the idea of producer, into celebrity, right? So instead of someone who's behind the scenes, this is a Phil Spector jam, or whatever they would have said in those times.
Sean Puppy Spector.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Oh, shout out to Dr. Dre in the LA area. He came out of the hospital recently from his aneurysm. It's not like it's going to get any better. His divorce case is crazy, man. He's giving the woman $2 million. She's a former lawyer and a socialite, according to her. And I'm not trying to come at her. My bad, guys.
I feel like
I know. It's a little weird. I'm for everybody, by the way. Toni Braxton, I was on her side. I'm for Kelly Clarkson's side too. I do not I'm for the person making the money. I don't care what they have between their legs. If you were not shooting with me in the gym, You just weren't shooting with me in the gym. That's all it is. For me.
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else. You can take whatever side you need to take. That's okay. So if you have anything to say on that, my bad. I didn't need to move on.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Dre, I was so sad. I like my heart sank. I'm really glad that he's out of the hospital. And yeah, it's been a bad year for him. And it is really interesting how much money she is requesting, because I feel like, because it's not a stipend, but like a monthly thing, right? Where she's like, it's like.
Well, this one is temporary, but she is asking for $2 million a month, I believe. I think that's according to TMZ.
Yeah, like what in the world are you buying monthly?
And most of their children, I think, older, not like a grown adult old, but like they're pretty much up there where they're like a little sustainable.
Oh yeah, I think their youngest is like going to
college,
USC
right?
now.
USC, yeah, USC.
Yeah, so it's like you're not taking care of kids, like you just want to buy a new car every month. Like what are you doing that you need this much money? Maybe I'm just jealous. Maybe I just want that much money a month. I don't know. But
well, then put me on that jealousy train too, because I don't get it. And especially that she has a JD. I don't understand. Like, how, and that's your occupation, a socialite.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. So two of the states that love to kill people, New York and LA, and two of the states that love to award people, divorcees, other people's money. I remember I was watching Chris Rock, his latest special, and he was like, the worst thing about a divorce for a man that's being sued for the divorce on that side and being a celebrity is that I'm the only one in that room not making money. Everybody in that room when I leave is coming out richer. I'm the only one not coming out. I was like, damn.
Oh my God.
Pretty grim, but very true. Very true. So, again, Serena, Sam, Joanna, Taylor, shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to Raquel. She just had a pair of twins. We all were at Coachella together. It was a great experience. So I love to talk music with Serena. Moon Taxi, I believe you're familiar with them. Silver Dream just dropped. Rhye, Home. And, are you listening to any of that? What are you listening to right now, actually? Is there anything you should listen to?
I've only heard Rhye. I've heard one song, and it's it's exactly what I want to listen to right now. Like the kind of like chill jazz, like soulful music. Right now I'm actually listening to Jacob Collier's new album.
Nice. I got to listen to that. Nice.
Ooh, it's so good. It is so good.
No, there's one. Music.
Yeah, no, I with yours too. So keep sending me, recommendations. I'll always take it in. But it's really good. It's very like experimental jazz. Again, with like a lot of soul. There's one track with Daniel Caesar.
Oh, I love Daniel Caesar. Yes. And one of my friends just did a shout out to Kenny and Ariel. Congratulations on your wedding. Yes, they opened up to Daniel Caesar. Perfect.
Amazing.
He has a beautiful voice.
Yeah, no, it's gorgeous. And this new album is very, very good. I would highly suggest it.
Hell yeah. Thank you for that. I got to ask more guests what they're listening to, because sometimes our music news is not as relevant as other news. Not a lot of drama comes out of it unless there's like a rap beef or something like that. It's weird.
Right.
And not a lot of albums have been dropping weekly anymore. It's weird too. So yes, I have to ask that. And again, I'm glad I asked somebody with good taste.
Do you have a feeling about, sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but how do you feel about the Snoop Dogg?
Eminem? Oh, we talked about, yes. That's funny that it's relevant over there. We talked about that a couple episodes. I didn't think, and it's weird because sometimes when I talk about certain artists, I say to myself, damn, am I like outdating myself? Blah, blah, blah. And then I look at my metrics, and Eminem always comes up on my metrics, always. Like anytime I put Eminem on there, he pops up. People search for him and they find my show, and I'm just like, Eminem, I'm just gonna keep whoring myself on your celebrity. Like, and like you're like almost 50, and like I'm still riding your coattails, bro. So here we go. No, how I feel about that. I still feel anybody who's listening from the other episode where I talked about this, I think it was like 3 episodes ago, or 2. I feel like he does that on purpose. I don't feel like it's a big deal. I'm not gonna lie, like on a personal level, like if I was just like on the vaccines, like if I was Eminem and Snoop Dogg had said that, I would be a little hurt. But on the flip side, like I said, Snoop Dogg is great. He's a legend. He's an icon, but he's more of an icon and a legend than he is a good rapper. And he was a good rapper at one point, but it was a really long time ago, a lot longer than it was for Eminem. And Eminem is arguably still pretty good. Snoop Dogg is not. Snoop Dogg needs heavy production. Snoop Dogg needs Martha Stewart. Eminem, and like I said, Eminem is kind of like Michael Jordan. Like sometimes he gets so bored that he calls people out like MGK, Moby, people that are not even on his level, people that are not even in his genre. And and like I said, Michael Jordan used to do that. Michael Jordan admitted on his Last Dance special that he would make up rivalries sometimes just to motivate himself. So I feel like that's what Eminem does. And yeah, how do you feel about that? I know that you're in the LA area. I know that's big Snoop news.
Yeah, no, I agree. I saw the headline. I didn't deep dive into it too much because I was like, they're promoting something. Like something's supposed to happen because there would be really no reason. Like I feel like Snoop Dogg has become such like a community member out here as like on top of being a legend. And obviously like, you know, his kids are grown up. He's been a family man for a really long time. Like I really feel like it's like one of those things where the publicists were like, oh, like let's throw something out there and see how much like attention we get. Because like you said, it's, you know, music doesn't really get that much. I don't hear about music as much because there's so much chaos going on in like the politics of today, and then like there's the pandemic. So like what can, you know, music producers and rappers do but like to promote themselves, but create something. So I might be totally wrong on that, but I'll be really happy.
I don't believe so at all. I don't believe so at all. A good example is like you can only be as like big as Beyonce in order to be political with your music right now. It's not you have to be at a certain. You can't be an indie artist or a grassroots artist right now and come out and be like Rage Against the Machine. They've been in the news recently because they have a new doc miniseries, and they talk about Trump and other conservatives using sometimes their music licensing, and like, and they're just befuddled because they're just like they're everything they're against. So like, why would you try to use the rights to their music?
Right.
So I agree with you. It's hard to be political with music right now and get a good reception. Some people are not really into that. I am. I don't care. I view it as all entertainment, and I don't mind. And like back in the day with Harry Belafonte, there's all types of musical artists that have been great political engagers and have made great art because of it, because of the strife that was happening in their current events.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you like Lady Gaga? Do you like Black Puma?
I love Lady Gaga.
Nice. Me too, actually.
Yeah, I haven't listened to her in a while. Black Puma, maybe I know their music, but maybe I don't like.
Black Pumas will be opening up for Lady Gaga. She will be the main attraction for Joe Biden. She is a big fan. I read recently that on TMZ, of course, but you know, I hate the dog TMZ because they spit facts. It may be like National Enquirer type facts, but they're always on the money. And as a matter of fact, they're too on the money. Like that Kobe Bryant incident. Like sometimes they're too on the money. So like Kareem Hunt, where he punched the girl in the hallway, in the freaking, and like kicked her and shit. Ray Rice. Like sometimes you're just like, okay, TMZ, are you like Minority Report? Like, do you like, are you like Nightcrawler? Like, are you like is what's his name? My man, from the movie.
Minority Reporter.
No. Brokeback Mountain, freaking Nightcrawler. Yes, Jake Gyllenhaal. Do they have him? Does TMZ have him on the payroll? Do they have him on the payroll? God damn, man. So TMZ, like I said, they're a good source for me. And Lady Gaga's father is a staunch Republican and a staunch Trump supporter. And I thought it was very sweet. No matter who he's supporting, they said, how do you feel about him singing at the inauguration, Lady Gaga? And he was like, as any proud dad would. And I was like, nice, man. I know you didn't vote for him, but that's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. Unlike Melania, they tried to get her to perform. They tried to get her to sing, and she said no. Joking. I don't know. Unless Melania is trying to set up a sweatshop, I don't know what she's doing. Anyway, let's get to what we're watching. What the fuck did I watch? And this, again, I say this every fucking week, this is my favorite portion. And one of the reasons why it's my favorite portion is because I got lucky and I got an actual actor. Again, I hate to big it up too much. Not for me. I'm fine. I can embarrass myself out there, but I just hate to embarrass the guests. Yes, highly IMDbable. Very cool to have on the show. I'm very honored. So let's get to some other IMDb legends. Armie Hammer. He is auditioning for Hannibal. Do you know anything about the situation, Serena?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because one of the movies that I watched, I don't know if you saw it, but during the whole quarantine, obviously we're still pretty much in quarantine, but watching Rebecca was one of the highlights.
That was a good movie.
I loved
Netflix.
Yes.
That was very good.
Okay, so I would also highly recommend, like kind of tangent, but I would highly recommend, it's originally a Hitchcock film. And
it's very Hitchcockian, very.
Yes. Oh yeah. And I really love that film. So to watch it, the remake, I was like, I don't know, maybe I'm just like blinded by really pretty scenery and like old.
You're a thespian. It happens. Comes with the territory. Charges to the game.
but to hear that he has these like really strange messages that, was it younger women, like younger under 18 women, or was it just the cannibalism aspect?
It was the cannibalism. It was a lot of active violence. It was a lot of that. It was drinking of blood and stuff. I don't think it was underage. Maybe it was. I don't think so. But maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
He wasn't Call Me By Your Name, and he's about to be in the. Who knows? Maybe he won't be in the sequel. Who knows? Maybe this. I know. Maybe this will be too much. And again, he had to leave the set of the J Lo movie. What is that movie called? That's bad. Actually, I could find that on the link.
Oh, you know what?
I know it's a highly anticipated movie.
Yeah. I know they're shooting it in, what is it, Cuba, Puerto Rico?
Yeah, House of Effie or something like that. He wants to bite pieces off the recipient. I'm 100% a cannibal. I want to eat you. Fuck, that's scary to admit. I've never admitted that before. Whoa, so I don't know if he's a cannibal, but it don't look good. It don't look like right? The optics are not good right now. The optics, my man Armie. I'm a big Armie fan. He's a great actor. He's a fantastic actor. So if he's eating people, I don't know, that might affect how I look at him from now on. I don't know.
Well, even just like saying those words, like I get there's like a whole, side of like fetishism and, S&M, dominatrix stuff.
Yeah, we talked about in the pre-meeting.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, and I get that. But, obviously, like you said, like the optics aren't good. His publicist is probably going crazy right now. Like you can't really, and at this point where, celebrity is so like public approval or, public, denial or, if people don't like him, because of something like this, like it's probably going to be really hard for him, even if he denies it. And even if it isn't him, it's probably going to weigh on his role options in the future.
Absolutely. He's an A-lister, and that might not be he might be an A- now because he's really talented. I can't imagine him losing a lot of work, but he's definitely going to lose some work. He's definitely going to lose out on some really pristine, because as you know, it's very, very competitive even for the A-listers, and for someone like him, you need to have a Teflon PR, and good thing your studio doesn't have to worry about that. You like to eat real food. You don't like to eat people, from what I've gathered. So your studio is pretty set with you. Pretty set. Yeah. This is actually pretty sad. Damn, I'm like running into all these booby traps with all this sad news. R.I.P. to Jessica Campbell, one of my favorite Reese Witherspoon movies, Matthew Broderick, Election, such a great movie. And I saw The Politician, very good show on Netflix. Shout out to Ryan Murphy and all them. But I don't really see too many like election in like high school films that much anymore. And I know like in the 90s and like the early 2000s there was a bunch of them, Rushmore and all that kind of stuff. So but I enjoyed her. I really enjoyed her. I really loved her in Election. Did you watch Election? Did you watch that film?
Many moons ago, but I loved that movie, and it is really strange because she was like 38, right? She passed away,
and she was in Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah,
she was Seth Rogen's love interest.
I love that.
That was cool.
Show so much.
Me too. Legendary show. Judge Apatow, big fan.
Seriously.
Big fan. Yeah, that was pretty sad, and she played a great role. I'm a fan. I was a fan of her work. It was limited, but she was good. So that's sad. Too young, way too young. When somebody dies at like 70, I say it's too young. So 38 is way, way too young. Way too young. I would like to get your review on WandaVision, the new show starring. I didn't know the actor that's in WandaVision. He is married to Jennifer Connelly. I didn't know that. Vision is married to Jennifer Connelly. Yeah, he was talking about quarantining with her, and I'm like, damn. So jealous. I would quarantine.
Every single man I know at any age will say that exact thing, and I can't argue with that. I'm sorry. It's
man,
true.
He hit the jackpot with that, man. She is great at any age, and he's a great looking guy too. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them. Yeah. And Elizabeth Olsen is a good actress too. I loved her, and I know it's weird because is that what it was called, Old Dog or something like that? The remake of the Korean film where. Yeah, with Josh Brolin. Yes. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but something really nasty happens at the end. She's hot, but it's not, it's like pretty much from like a Pornhub scene. Like, even though she's hot, exactly. But back to her more rated PG work with Marvel. She has a new show. You saw it. I didn't see it. I would love to know what you thought.
Yeah. I think there are only 2 episodes out right now. Okay. So you have time to catch up. But it's a little hard. I feel a little bit biased because I did have a chance to work with her on one of her, like it was a Facebook Watch show that she did. And she was the nicest person in the world. Like you would not. Oh my God. She at the very end of the day, I was like, I want to be friends with you. Like, how do we hang out? Like, not even. Like, you don't have to tell anyone. Like, we could just be friends. Like, I just want to be friends. Like,
I could be your side friend.
Yeah. I could be a secret friend. I don't know. But no, she's really talented. And the first 2 episodes of WandaVision so far, not to give anything away, but they're setting up for what is actually happening. But the original.
A lot of intrigue, I've heard. A lot of intrigue. Yeah. A lot of setting up, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And the previews show, it obviously is set up initially to look like a 1950s, 60s
like Pleasantville.
Sitcom. Yeah, like Pleasantville. I Love Lucy is a very that they're pulling from, and she does it really well. She does I think it's the transatlantic accent that they used to have in those TV shows or movies more like in the 1940s.
She reminds me of Maggie Gyllenhaal a little bit.
Yeah, totally. And especially with that haircut that she has in the WandaVision. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, we're gonna see what happens. I have no idea, but there are little they do a really good job of giving you hints, subtle hints of something changing or what's to come, because it goes from a 4 camera sitcom kind of setup to all of a sudden you're getting close-ups and you're like, why are you getting close-ups of these actors in this show? And it's because something's growing and something's changing and they're realizing something that even if they don't know what it is yet. So it'll be interesting to watch. I'm a fan of Elizabeth Olsen, always and forever, BFF. So.
Me too. I'm a fan of your BFF, huge fan. And I'm not the hugest fan of Marvel anymore, but I'm sure my audience is here. I'm sure my audience is sick of hearing that, because it doesn't matter that I say that, because I'm probably going to watch it because it's super trending and it's super different. I hear that not just because it's Marvel, but because they're doing something different with the show. not to say it's like The Leftovers or it's like Lost or anything like that, but they kind of have that kind of appeal. They kind of have that. That's what I'm gathering from the vibe, from what you're saying.
Yeah.
Even though it's not like that, it's like a sitcom and Pleasantville, all the aesthetics that I agree from what I've seen in the promos and stuff. Mm-hmm. But from what I said, like, as far as the mystery behind it, that's what I've heard, that it's like, it reminds people of that kind of like story plot. Very, very slow to unfold.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So I'm glad you spoke about that. One Night in Miami, I saw that. That was with Regina King. That is very new, so a lot of people haven't seen that yet. That's her directorial debut. Serena's going to watch that tonight. This is a fictional story. It's about a play about Muhammad Ali, a night that he was becoming champion of the world. So fictional Sam Cooke, a fictional Malcolm X. There's another celebrity in it too. Damn, I forgot who it was. But Regina King, she did a fantastic job. She adapted, like I said, the play. And it was wonderful. One of the people from not Bridgerton, the person that played Obama in the James Comey show on Showtime. He's in it. It's just great. And Regina King, I am a huge fan of her. She was amazing in last year's 7 Seconds and Watchmen. And I've been a fan of her ever since Poetic Justice, my favorite movie of all time, Jerry Maguire. It just don't work without him, Jerry. It just don't work without him. I mean, some would differentiate with that with Cuba Gooding Jr. He's been in a lot of trouble lately, so I don't know if it doesn't work without him anymore. But it sure doesn't work without Regina King, and she was in the news recently because she said she has made a vow to have at least 50% women on her set. She said she failed that in the interview because she didn't account for how many people do not count themselves as a cisgendered man. So she said she got close. And so how do you feel about that? How do you feel about this subject material coming out in a movie? It sounds really different, to be honest. It sounds really original. And how do you feel about her attempt to make 50% of her cast behind the camera women?
She is everything. Like, first, let's just say that Watchmen is a perfect TV series. Like, I want more. I don't know if I want more. At the same time, I want it to stay exactly as it is because they should not change a thing. She was amazing in it.
Incredible.
I could just, anytime someone brings up like, oh, a good TV show, I watched it a long time ago and finished it a long time ago, I still bring it up as one of the best TV shows. And for her to jump into the director's seat, because I feel like it is very hard, maybe not necessarily hard for someone, a woman as an actor to jump in, but I don't feel like I see enough of it. So for her not to only do that and to bring on a very talented cast, she also mentioned that she wanted to make sure that the people that she cast weren't like top A-list celebrities, specifically just for the inclusion of it and to bring up those people. Obviously, like Leslie Odom, like Hamilton, we know him through that, but to put him on like this great feature,
he played Sam Cooke.
Yeah, it shows.
Oh, Jim Brown was the other one. Sorry, I don't know how I forgot about the legendary NFL player Jim Brown.
I'm so bad at names, honestly. I'm just like, but I do feel like it's really appreciated, and she didn't have to do any of it. Like she's like an A-list celebrity. She's a star. She doesn't really need to look back and give back to people who are in a position that she used to be in. But she's doing it, and I think it's really commendable. And on top of that, she's a badass, and I loved watching her in Watchmen. So I'm really excited to see this movie. I've heard only good things. So.
I agree. And I'm not trying to like sully the momentum and the momentous occasion, but I had this conversation with someone before, and we were talking about diversity. And I was saying, my white friend was saying that it's not enough, and I'm sure we've heard this in other racial conversations. It's not enough that people of color carry the torch and try to make momentous change. But our white counterparts probably have to carry more of the bevy of that. And I would like to say that in gender, too, to be honest. Men occupy most of the spaces when it comes to director seats and comes to production and studio heads, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like it's in this situation, it's a men's job. It's men's job on top of not just Regina King. Regina King, keep doing what you're doing. I love what you're doing. Big shout out to Greta Gerwig, Sofia Coppola, so many women directors out there. Olivia Wilde is doing her thing right now. And to be honest, I was thinking of her when you were talking about directing. You didn't say like, oh, I'm going to direct, but I could see you evolving into that. And if I had to think of someone that would have that kind of style, like book smart and stuff like that, I could picture you delivering like Olivia Wilde, to be honest.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. I'm a big fan of her.
Me too. And I think she's so fantastic. And I completely agree with your friend. And the idea of, this goes for a lot of industries, but to be honest, like the TV and film industry, it's a boys club. And
absolutely.
Like most places, you know, or most industries or, you know, places of work. But I do feel like it does tend to get complicated because for the most part, when, you know, like a director brings up like a mentee, like as a mentor to someone, it's usually a guy because there's another, you know, cisgender male because there's no possibility for the Weinstein weirdness. Does that make sense? Like, absolutely.
The casting couch. Yes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So it gets to, it muddies the waters that way. And while I agree that it should be a lot of these white cisgender males leading the charge, it is always good to have like a woman who is already towards the top, even if she's not, you know, in the boys club, to help bring it up. Because I think Regina King, even as an actor, like she's just a trusted figure in the industry.
Yes.
And if anyone's going to help people move on up, it's going to be her, as well as other people. We just, you know, it just ends up getting complicated.
Yeah, and to segue out of that, Nicole Kidman, actually, not to get ADD on everybody, I remember you were talking about I Love Lucy, sitcoms and stuff like that. Nicole Kidman is actually going to be the next I Love Lucy. She's going to be Lucille Ball. And I don't know, I'm a little confused with this one. Javier Bardem is going to be Ricky Ricardo.
Really?
Desi Arnaz. And so that should be really interesting. But there was a little beef with that, by the way. There was a little beef with that. Deborah Messing has a really good impression of Lucille Ball. And a lot of people on Twitter were upset and were like, Deborah Messing should be Lucille Ball. And then Deborah Messing fed into it and was like, I should. And she was like that. And she said that Lucille Ball's daughter, like she like named like some memory that like happened, like, oh. And like, as it was like really creepy actually while I was reading it. I was just like, why is she bragging about this? Like, this is really like, this is like Lena Dunham. Like, you didn't need to admit that, baby. Like, it's okay. Like, we didn't need to know that. Like, Deborah Messing's the same thing. She's like, and she was like she was talking to me like I was her mother. Like, yes, mom. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, no, that's creepy. That's creepy. Nicole Kidman, she's creepy in movies. Like The Outsiders, she doesn't bring that out. Like, she doesn't like, hey, Keith Urban, let's talk to some fucking ghosts. No. So yes, so my question to you is, are you team Deborah Messing? Or are you team Kidman?
I didn't know that this was a thing, and I feel a lot of pressure right now to choose.
I'm bringing you the tea though, and I'm in exchange for a poll question. I brought you the tea, and now I need your opinion. No, I'm joking.
Okay. Shoot. Ooh, I don't know. This is how, like, and this, it gets difficult because.
Who do you enjoy seeing as Lucille Ball more? That's okay. Who would you enjoy more? Who would be? Oh, neither. Oh, do you have someone in mind, or just none of them, and that's okay. Like, we'll figure it out later.
What about Yeah, I guess I don't have anyone. It's hard because like Lucille Ball. When I think of someone who is like classic beauty, but like weirdly hilarious. Like, I can't really think of anyone who could pull that off. I think Nicole Kidman is a really talented actress. I think Deborah Messing is kind of funny. Like, I
yeah,
just don't.
Really kind of funny. I agree with you. She's really funny on freaking
right.
Will and
So
Grace.
I'm like, it would have to be someone. If they say that, like, for covers, like if you do a cover in music, you need to do it better than the original, right?
Yeah.
Like, no one is going to get better than Lucille Ball. So I don't know. I feel like it's just complicated. I'll have to read it up. I'll send it to you. I don't know. I'll have like a whole
All good.
essay.
I will let you get away with pleading the fifth. It's okay.
Thank you.
What was I about to say? What was I supposed to say about Lucille? Whatever. Let's move on. And it wasn't even a topic. I just thought it was pretty cool that I read that recently.
Yeah.
So we also have I'm Your Woman. I'm a big fan of Rachel Brosnahan. She plays a woman on the run. She plays a woman on the run with her kid. If you're into that kind of thing, if you're into like not like Sleeping with the Enemy or Enough and stuff like that, but that kind of vibe, that kind of abuse that she's escaping from. And you don't usually get to see Rachel Brosnahan. I just recently, I don't watch The Blacklist, but I didn't know that she was a main character on there, she at least like shows up a lot. And but I only see her in Marvelous Miss Maisel, except for like a House of Cards a few years ago. I'm a big fan of her, so I'm a big fan. Have you seen this film, or are you into watching it? Or are you into watching her?
It is on my list. It is definitely on my list. I actually have it like right over there. I need to watch it. I will be honest. I've fallen into a America's Next Top Model rerun.
Okay.
And as soon as I get out of it, I'll be ready to actually watch some like quality stuff. But that movie is one of the ones. It's like One Night in Miami, I'm Your Woman, and a few others that are just like supposed to be like really good, heavy, beautiful films.
Who is doing Top Model now? Didn't like everybody leave? Like I don't think Tim Gunn is on there or Tyra.
They're not. I don't think they're doing it at all.
Wow. Yeah. How is that show now?
Oh, it aged very poorly, and but it's still it's fun in the nostalgia sense. You know what I mean? Like I remember exactly where I was and like what point in my life I was at watching these particular cycles. And I think right now, just because of all the chaos going on in the world, like I just need some space to like zone out and like not think about anything except for whether or not these girls are taking good photos. Like that's all I need right now.
Yeah.
So, but I Am Your Woman is a very, like it's very high up there and I'm really excited to watch it.
Good. Oh, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I mentioned it. There was a movie that I want to, we're going to probably review it next week. It's the, Carey Mulligan, and she is a big front runner for an Oscar for this. This is
so good.
Oh, you saw it? You saw it pretty, is it?
Promising Young Woman.
Promising, sorry, I said pretty. Wow, I'm thinking of the Michael Jackson fucking song. Yes, Promising Young Women, yes.
Yeah.
I have not seen that yet. I haven't seen Nomadland yet. Those are like big, heavy favorites. That's really cool. Lots of women headlining that. You saw it, great. Oh, talk about it real quick if you want to.
So good. I've ever since In Education, I've loved.
Big fan of that movie too. Yes.
So good. This one is it's not what you would expect, and I really love like they bring out these like the color palette of the whole movie is like pink and cute, and I'm a girl, but the dark. The underlying like anger, like it's a really good clash. I don't want to give away too much, but she's fantastic in her role. Yeah. And this movie is one of those that you will watch and you'll think about it and be like, I don't know if I liked it. That's my favorite part about movies.
That's good. That's a great film.
Where you have to like
you were debating that.
Yeah, and you have to like sit on it for a while and then come back and be like, you know what, actually I think I liked it because this is this. There's just like a lot of stuff to unpack.
And I heard it's really genreless too. I heard like it's very hard to peg down. And
right.
It's funny that you're saying spoiler. Everybody, I've avoided it, thankfully. But every article about it is about the ending. Everybody talks about the ending, and so
really?
thankfully I have not. Yeah, thankfully it's all been in the headline. So thankfully I have avoided those links. I will be reviewing it next week. I will do it. I will try to do as good a job as you of avoiding the spoilers. You did a very good job of that. That is definitely something I want to see. I'm always into Oscar contenders, whether they are in that pedigree or not. I like to determine that myself, or like talk to my colleagues like you, and see if they're up to snuff. And last but not least, Diego Luna, Sienna Miller, and Serena Lady. Yes. Wander Darkly. One of the credits of the up-and-coming star that we have right as our guest. We will be getting more into the interview of her, other stuff that she's been in, what's going on in her life, anything that she wants to promote. But let's get on to Wander Darkly. How do you feel about this project?
Oh, my God. Well, first off, it's my first feature film.
Congrats. Oh my God, what a big feat. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. And it's a really, it was an out of body experience to just do a scene, first of all, with Sienna Miller, because that's insane.
I love her. She's a really good actress.
She's a really good actress and also a lovely person. I always want to say that because I feel like people, just kind people anywhere, like I think they should just be given a shout out. So it was a really great experience to film it. The director is a woman, the cinematographer, woman, 4 of the major producers, women. I
didn't know the producer part. Nice. That's great.
Yeah. So it was really great to be surrounded by these like really talented powerhouse women who brought this movie to fruition. And it was really cool. I don't know if we talked about it, but I got to watch this movie at its premiere at Sundance. So and this was last January.
We didn't talk about it, but I think you did mention it somewhere.
Okay, I did. Okay, great. Yeah. So we got to like go up there, watch it.
And I'm jealous. That's so cool. Sundance is definitely on my bucket list.
Oh, man, we will need to go because it's literally all it is like the best movies and then food and then snowboarding or skiing.
When I worked at Brute Media, when I worked at Brute America, they covered Sundance and Cannes Film Festival, and they sent me there, and I was just so jealous. So dope.
Yeah, no, we gotta go once everything opens back up. Like
absolutely, we will. I'm very looking forward to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nice. And you're friends with Sienna Miller. You're friends with Elizabeth Olsen, and you're friends with Sienna Miller. Oh my gosh, you're not gonna have room to be friends with me. You're gonna have to ditch me. I'm not gonna be famous enough.
Listen, no, they're secret friends. You know, they don't even know they're friends with me at this point.
That's most of my friends. That's okay. That's most of my friends. Oh, you didn't know? You better call somebody.
That's awesome. But no, the movie, and I think it's like
material too. Heavy subject material. And
heavy subject. The director wrote it and directed it, and it's based off of an experience that she had.
Oh wow! I didn't know that it was that personal. Whoa.
Yeah. She made this movie very, very personal, all the way down to the location, because obviously it is set in Los Angeles,
yes.
Maybe a little more eastern, like East Los Angeles kind of area, with like the Day of the Dead images and that kind of thing.
That's true. That is so true. That is from the shots.
Yeah.
And I love how you talked about color aesthetics before. I'm actually, I was thinking about it while you were talking. I wish that colorists are actually becoming more prominent in movies. I keep seeing like color palettes on like IG and stuff like that. And like films like The Joker or like Blade Runner or like Tenet or something like that. So things that benefit like Wander Darkly, yes, I think that they should get way more praise.
For sure, yeah. No, it would have been a great movie without you know, but I do think like the importance of that color, it really spoke to the like, not to give anything away, but like some of the dream sequences or the, you know, maybe different state of consciousness sequences that they had. Yeah. But yeah, no, beautifully acted movie. By the end, I was like bawling. Like after I first saw it, I was just.
It was very emotional. Very emotional. And I'm not gonna lie, I was confused in the beginning. Again, not to give anything away, it's a couple that is dealing with a car accident. It's a potentially fatal crash, and you see a lot of memories being unfolded throughout the movie. They're just sifting through them, and it gets confusing, it gets very heavy, it gets very emotional, and I think it's a great film. And I've not seen Diego Luna outside of Narcos and a few other kind of like action roles. I've seen Sienna Miller many times. My favorite role of hers ever is Factory Girl. That's my favorite ever of hers. Nice. Love that movie. Great movie. I think she actually got robbed. I think she should have got nominated for something at least. But again, I'm so impressed. These are great. You have an up and comer right there in the credit, and you have somebody that's a legend in the game, Sienna Miller. So you can't get. I could say you can't get any better than that, but that's not true. You're just beginning, so it's going to get a lot better. It's going to get a lot better. I love it. Love it. How long did it take? How long did it take to film Wonder Darkly?
For me, it was a very short. I only had one day on set. They actually had a really small budget, like compared to other big movies. I think it was maybe. Ooh, don't quote me on this. It might be 100, 200,000, I think, on the budget. And it was only, and it was only 30 days.
Quality film too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they only filmed for 30 days. So it was like really quick, all that they did.
That's like the standard now. Nobody really, like, except for like James Cameron, like nobody takes like over a year to make a film anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, they have so many like options now, and with like bigger budgets, I'm sure they'll have like a smaller team that'll do like the not as important scenes, and they have a lot more to work with, I think.
And that's good for actors like you guys, because then you get to do more work. You get to do more work. Like if you're just like stuck, unless they're like paying you, but still, that still sucks, because like even though you're getting paid, let's say like you're on a franchise, like yourself, you're like on a Marvel franchise, and they're paying you enough to miss other work. But you're still missing other work. You're still trying to diversify yourself as an actor. You're still trying. I remember I was reading something or watching an interview. Who was it? Oh, Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet. She was talking about her because she's about to be in the James Cameron Avatar sequels. And she was saying that she had a hard time with celebrity when she was in Titanic, and that on purpose she went the indie route so that she could craft her acting without like so much of the scrutiny. And she said that the British tabloids especially were really, really mean to her. And so that was a big reason why she wanted to do, she wanted to work on her craft more in secret. And not to say that like indie films are like really a secret, but again, they're not get as much exposure as you would know than commercial hits.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that is a really interesting route to take. And I do kind of agree with her that I feel like maybe there is less pressure when you do get picked up for like indie films or short films, maybe because there aren't as many eyes on it. But I don't know. I thought she was great in Titanic. I can't imagine what the British tabloids were saying about her.
It was probably, from what I read in the article, it was mostly body shaming. It was mostly it was mostly gross shit. And even at the end of the article, she was like, and she's actually very notorious for this. She has a no touch-up policy, for all her photo shoots. She does not allow anybody to do touch-ups on her. If she does a photo shoot, yes, and she's been doing it for a very long time. And so she doesn't really get a lot of credit for that. And at the very end of the interview, I thought it was very cute. She was like, the reason why I do that is because I say, look, honey, God gave us a great set of boobs, a great set of curves, a great bum. Why would we? And she's a teenager. She's not like a little girl, so it's not like right. I'm like yeah. So she's like, isn't it wonderful? Like that and she said, I know, mommy, we are blessed. And I'm like, that's so cool. Like and I know I joke like just like with everybody, you know what I'm saying? Like we all like to joke and feel like that, but it is very important to feel good in your skin. Very,
100%.
very, very important. I remember I was at a conference for the Bright conference for Columbia University, and they did a Dove commercial, and they did a study. I forgot what sample they used, but it seemed pretty legit. They said that at least 70% of women across the globe do not feel that they are pretty, that they do not feel beautiful or up to like whatever beauty standards are.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know where they got like those, but it seemed real to me. It seemed very real to me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely, and especially like in an industry, I mean, Kate Winslet, I think, is perfection. Right. Exactly. And
she's gorgeous.
Yeah. And just for her to even be told that she is less than, like, and I just think that even people who are just like working up to getting to, you know, be like an actor who gets booked steadily, like that person isn't the British tabloids, it's themselves. You know what I mean? Because they're like, what do I need to do to get to that point? And it's like, well, what do I need to fix is probably the first thing that comes to mind for a lot of people. And if it isn't, like, I applaud you. But like for me, for, you know, a lot of other people, it's like, it's a trap. Like it can get really bad if you don't check yourself.
Absolutely.
Emotionally. Yeah.
Oh man, I definitely agree with that. Too much, to be honest. Too much.
Yeah.
And again, we don't want to spoil anything, but it's right. Wander Darkly is about an hour and 30 minutes. We don't want to spoil anything, so go look for her scene in there. I'm not even going to introduce it. Nothing. I mean, unless you want me to, but I don't want to. I want people to actually go look and be like, ah. I read it like it's like go like Waldo, like there she goes, because that's how I was. You said like out of body experience. I was like, that was me. I almost like jumped out, and like Joanna like almost ruined it for me because like she put it like on a post. But I was like looking away, like, no, I need to see her. I need to see her myself. I need to see her myself, and I was so overjoyed. So again, go look into that movie. If you need to just look for her, go ahead. But no, it's a quality movie. I'm actually more into independent movies, by the way. I'm so happy that you were in that because, not to say that I don't want to see you in more commercial hits, but no, I'm a big fan of indie movies, so it was a very enjoyable experience. So you were at the right place at the right time, and you're one of my favorite people, so it was destined to happen for me to watch that.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. Let us move on to more movie stuff because you're a movie guest.
Yeah, Mom. I can't go to the lake. No, Stan's having emotional problems, and they need to...
What the fuck did I say? And this portion is all about Serena. We were still talking about Serena before, and if you're sick of Serena, I don't know how that could be possible. Tough luck, because we're going to talk more about her. We're going to talk more about her career. If she has any ambitions past this, I think she does. She's too young not to. Anything she wants to be honest. Anything that she wants to highlight about her IMDb experience. I keep saying that because I'm so excited. Like, I'm a big fan of the site, by the way. I'm always on there trying to look at acting credits. And even when I was at Brute, sometimes it was a great way to book guests. It was a great way to find their agents, especially if you're on the premium account. You get to see like who their representation is and all that good stuff. So I am a big fan of that website. I'm a big fan of you. So my first question is, even though we talked about Wander Darkly already, what was your favorite project before Wander Darkly?
Ooh, that's a good.
And it could be television, it could be film, it could be short, it could be whatever you want.
Yeah, there are a lot.
It could be fun, whatever. No, seriously, whatever. You take the stage.
I did have a really fun spot on a Nickelodeon TV show last year.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Did you? Okay. Did you? Have you seen it?
I have. I have a few episodes actually.
I only say that because it was like living out a childhood dream. You know, like whatever you imagined the Nickelodeon studios to look like that is what it looks like. They had like
very
really
Yo Gabba Gabba. It was very like that.
Yeah, well, even like in the waiting room, it would be like a big orange hand that you would sit on, you know, like just bright colors everywhere. And everyone from like the production assistants all the way to the top executives who were there, they were just so happy to be there the whole time. It was just like a really great atmosphere. And the whole cast was a lot of fun. I just really enjoyed the whole, like, I couldn't stop laughing. Like, there were some points where I just had to hold in the laughter because the two main characters for Henry Danger are hilarious. So I think I enjoyed that one. I also just did a couple months ago a short film through the American Film Institute. And I actually got to do my first like real fight choreography scene.
Oh, that is dope.
It was so much fun. It was so much fun. So I don't know if it will get released anywhere. I know that it was probably more of a project for the students at AFI to learn different shots or whatever that particular class was for. But I had a lot of fun. Like, they had a stunt choreographer. I learned how to like get beat up. It was really cool. It was really, really cool. Like, even doing like shoulder falls, like, or shoulder rolls, like, it was a lot of fun to do. I want to do more of that. I think that's I'm gonna manifest what we were saying in our pre-talk. Like, I'm gonna manifest it and putting it out there into the universe. I want to do more like kick butt stunt choreography. So I'm hoping to do that. We'll see.
I'm glad you said that because, again, yes, in the pre-meeting, sometimes there's some gems in there that are better than the actual show. I got to start recording that. But she's right. She's right. I had a person in my life that discouraged me from, like stating my plans or like my goals that I wanted to accomplish, whether it be like, a job or an audition. It didn't matter. And she was different. She wanted to like keep that a secret until it actually happened. And so years later, now we discussed it. Now it's called Manifest. Well, we've already had Manifest Destiny. The U.S. loves to do that when they want to like lock up Native Americans.
Yeah.
But as far as manifesting into the universe or speaking it to existence or putting it out into the universe, it's now a positive thing. It's now like, there's no really that much controversy in it. They put it in yoga clubs and everything now. They put it on like eat, pray, love symbols and shit like that. So now I'm so happy that, yes, and you should continue doing that because not that like people are going to hold you accountable. You're not that stage anymore. You're a self-sustained actor. You're a working actor. But I agree with you. Like putting it out there and just like making it a reality, like making it at least. It's way different than faking it till you make it. In my opinion, it's more of no. I believe this. As long as I do, as long as I feel like that is in the peripheral, as long as it's in my peripheral, as long as it's in my vision, it doesn't matter if anybody believes it.
Right. And I think on top of that, it's like, it's one of those things where if you have something that you want to accomplish and you don't tell anyone and it doesn't happen, then that's something that you can like privately be disappointed in or be ashamed about. Aww. But that idea is horrible, right? Like,
it's sad. I know it's sad. It's so sad. Like, you shouldn't be ashamed.
Yeah. So I think it's just like changing your mindset to be like, this should happen and I want it to happen. I'm going to work for it to happen. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't matter what everyone else thinks or what you would perceive other people to think about it, because that doesn't matter, like Absolutely. You have to just try your best and that's it. It doesn't have to be a shameful thing that you keep a secret if it doesn't happen,
No, I totally agree with you. And I think it's great. And it makes it more, I know for you it makes it rewarding, but for me, selfishly, it makes it more rewarding because I heard a lot of your stories of like making it to auditions or relocating, all types of things that you had to sacrifice to get there. And it makes me even more because I love to create content. I like to put myself in situations where, quote unquote, acting, but I would never put myself in the same breath as you because you literally put in the work. Like you put in the work. And it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't be fair because like you are someone, again, you're still in the beginning of your career, but you put a lot. It's like a prologue. You put a lot of work to get into that beginning, and it's paying off in dividends. It's paying. Let's name some of your projects before we get into a little more. Yes, Henry Danger, great recent project. The Wasteland, Pearson, Blame the Hero, LA's Finest, Future Man. I saw that. Sorry for the loss. I saw that also. Your best friend, your bud.
Yeah.
Yes, Speechless. I remember you talking about that. I got to see that cameo. That was really cool. Yes. So my mistake when I was saying the Yo Gabba Gabba, I thought you were talking about Magic Funhouse. I did not think you were talking about. I did not think you were talking about Henry Danger. Sorry about that. You were like, this motherfucker don't watch anything that I'm in.
But no, listen, that's a deep dive, and I appreciate you for it because I feel like a lot of my family members haven't even watched Magic Funhouse.
Oh, I loved it. I love that you were in it. I only watched it for you. I was like, oh my God, I hate programming like this. But I'm like, but the reason why I really liked it is because of the wardrobe. I thought it was really cool, like you in those outfits. I thought it was really cool to see you in that.
Yeah. No, it was crazy. I loved it. I was obsessed. And the wardrobe girls had a lot of fun, like trying to figure out what kind of like crazy Harajuku stuff they could put me in. I think there were some outfits that you like didn't even get to see because it was either cut out or, you know, we didn't get to that scene or whatever. But they had a lot of really cool stuff that they put me in. And then like the lipstick and like it was just insane.
It was great wardrobe. You looked great. You looked awesome. Very futuristic, very fun. I like I said, I could have saw you taking Yo Gabba Gabba's like hosting spot. Like that's like what the wardrobe was.
That's awesome.
I was sad with you when you were telling me, when you were saying that it was going off the air, and so I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I'm not, and again, I always believe in your talent, so I always know there's going to be another door open. I was like, yeah, like it just still felt like it was like everything has to end, but you're just like,
yeah.
I'm like seeing with this, so I'm like, damn. I was like, but it's great. You're still working, still doing great stuff, even better stuff.
I have faith because Brandon Rogers, who's the shout out to Brandon. He is the creator, director, star of the Magic Funhouse series. And
he did a good job.
He's fantastic. He actually did, if you ever check out Blame the Hero, he wrote it. He's in it.
Oh, he did? No way. That's the same person?
Yeah, he's a big YouTube
I didn't know that.
star.
Oh, I have seen that.
He's fantastic, and I just have every confidence in him. I love him so much.
Wow.
That whole cast was like, you know, it felt like a family. Like we'll still randomly text each other in our group chain, and it's been years, you know, since we've been on set together or even in the same place together. So I have faith that he's gonna hopefully bring it back somehow. Maybe the complications.
I can see that. There's no. I mean, there's kids that need to be entertained, man. Again, it's not something I would even venture to say it's something you wouldn't even watch. But again, it was quality. It was quality. Yeah. It really was. It definitely deserved an audience.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. No, I loved it. It was a good experience, and I hope something like that happens again.
Are there any type of roles you're looking forward to? Is there like a top role where you say to yourself, damn, I could pretty much retire right now? Is there like something out there that you really want to sink your teeth into?
That's a really good question. I'm working on a couple things right now that I can't talk about.
That's okay. Totally fine. We love the fact that you're doing that, actually. That's even better.
But I will say, like, I know you hate Marvel. I love the idea of Marvel. Like, you're not into
hate Marvel. It's just so much. It's just a lot. And like I said, everybody's annoyed with me probably. Like, this guy always says he hates Marvel. On the next episode of Keep Up, we will talk about Wandavision. Like, shut the fuck up, Vince, and just talk about Wandavision. That's probably what they're saying. Like,
but no, I would love to, again, like, if not to just become Elizabeth Olsen's best friend, but like to jump into that universe. You know what I mean? That'd be great.
You can save money on the set, guys. We will share a trailer. Don't you worry.
Yeah, we're just best friends. No, she doesn't need to know. Don't worry about it. She'll just show up. But that, or, you know me, I love comic books. Anything that comes out from a comic book, that.
Are you into manga as well? Are you into like anime and anything like that? Nice.
Yeah,
cool.
For sure. Yeah.
I need to get more into it.
Oh my God, so good! Like, let me know. I'll. What do you want?
Of course.
Genre? I'll give you.
Please, yeah, drop it off. People do. People give me recommendations, and I love them. I feel very bad. It's like soccer back in the day. Like I just wasn't around it enough. So
same.
I was only around Dragon Ball Z. Like I just wasn't around other quality anime and other quality, especially reading wise. I definitely was not around a lot of good and now we love graphic novels. Watchmen. We were just talking about great graphic novels. And
Watchmen's great.
I missed the boat. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. But I think anything that turns into, okay, here it is. Something that was like either like a great graphic novel. I want to be a part of those great stories, and I think that they're doing really well. Or like a Muppets movie. I'm just obsessed. I can't not watch Muppets. So one of those two things. I think that if I manifest this way, maybe I can jump onto the Muppet train eventually, or vice versa. But those would be my dream.
Have you ever auditioned for a video game?
Yeah, I have.
Nice. I could picture that. I don't know why. I was like, thought to myself, Rhye could definitely try out for a video game.
Yeah.
I'm jealous of that too, because that's one of my goals too. And when I say jealous, by the way, of not just you, I hope people don't construe that like I want to like place myself in her success. No, I would like for maybe one day for both of us to be successful, but for now, I'm just happy for her, so it's okay.
For sure.
So when I say jealous, yes, I'm jealous, but that doesn't mean I want to take her place. I would like catch up to her one day, or like just be in the dust somewhere. So that would be nice. But no, very cool, very, very fucking cool.
Yeah,
very cool. Speaking of which, just like Elizabeth Olsen and people that you have worked with, Sienna Miller. Is there an actor out there? And I like to say actor, by the way, whether you're a lady or a male or anything on the spectrum. I like to say what Whoopi Goldberg said. You guys are all actors. And it's weird because if they ever do like just conjoin them and make it unisex, then that would be less women getting it. So that would be very controversial. But I do genuinely feel you all are actors.
I like actor. I do. I like it.
Cool. There you go. I'm glad I chose that then. There you go.
I have actually had someone tell me, like, oh, by the way, this was like a secret DM thing. Not a secret, but, when people...
Armie's in your DMs too? No, I'm joking.
Whoa, call back.
Uber Eats, watch out. I will not leave a review for that.
But it was one of those, when you're not friends with someone and they're like, there's another place for them in your DMs, and every once in a while I'll check that.
Oh, general and primary.
Yeah. There'll be like a person who I don't know being like, hey, what's up?
That's definitely a very female thing to because men, we're trash. We don't have anybody. We like accept everybody usually, and you guys are just like, this guy is creepy. He's gonna stay in this section.
But I had someone tell me, like, by the way, your profile says actor and it's actress, like winky face, like trying to correct me. Yeah, and I was like, okay, well, I'm obviously not going to react to you but it's also a weird thing to look in someone's profile and try to make that distinction, especially when it can be interchangeable. But I like actor.
Because people, obviously there's a podcast, and I'm promoting the guests, but you're my friend, so it's very natural to do so. But it's also very natural for some people to try to equal you out, to try to level you down, to try to like bring you down a peg, just because they're feeling like insecure about themselves. So
for sure,
they'll mosey on over to your page and like feel bad about themselves okay, so people can say that about me, and I don't mind. Like LeBron James, for instance. I always root against him. And he made a comment one time, I think when he was on the Miami Heat, and he goes, all you guys out there, Vince especially, you have to wake up when you hate on me, when you try to conspire against me, you're still you the next day. And I was like, damn, LeBron, fuck you, first of all. And second of all, you're right. I'm never going to be you. As a matter of fact, they're like a year older, or maybe like a year less. And I don't have $300 million in the bank. Well, actually, I think you have more than that. I think he's like getting close to like a billion status. This guy like makes so much money. It's like a Space Jam. Like if you get a Space Jam named after you, you're pretty rich. You're pretty up there, man. It's safe to say that like, you're pretty up there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I feel about that. I don't feel like I don't think anybody wants to take anybody's place in that regard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, but I do like actor. I feel like I had an answer for you too, but I feel like
who's the actor? Who is the actor that you would like to play with either next or like the pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, I made it. Like if I was with a blank in this movie, I co-starred or I worked with this director or I worked with like this person, I adapted this, whoever. You can diversify it. You can make it funky. All good.
I love Gary Oldman.
Oh,
I
don't think his phone likes him very much, but yes, I like Gary Oldman too.
Oh my God. I think he's a fantastic actor. And I actually, have you seen Mank yet?
I have. It was excellent. I do agree that it should be an Oscar contender. I'm a big Finch fan. Fincher.
Fincher. I would love to work with him.
Ooh, you'll be taking 90 takes a day at least.
He's very particular. Yeah, they said that the scene again
took like 120 at least.
Yeah, but like the one scene where he has the long monologue, Gary Oldman does in the movie.
Oh, and Mank, yes.
And I think it was an entire week they said that they shot that.
Damn.
Something like that.
Oh my God! Well, that's perfect for Gary Oldman. Him in The Darkest Hour and stuff like that. He reminds me. Not reminds me. They're pretty much counterparts. Him and Daniel Day-Lewis. I feel like they're very comparable in the roles that they take.
No, I agree. It is very. It's.
That's a great choice.
Interesting now that What was that?
That's a great choice, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm just trying to think of like what would my character be, and obviously that's so like a nebulous thing to decide. But I mean,
do you want to be Margaret? Do you want to be Margaret Thatcher? Do you want to be like, I'm taking this Winston, I got it from here. Even though there was a couple of prime ministers in between. Don't mind me. I'm as accurate as the Crown. Sorry, my bad.
Oh.
No, I love the Crown, by the way. I like that they lie on that shit.
Yeah.
I don't think they're lying too hard on Charles, to be honest, but they're definitely lying. They're definitely you can't get in like those like very intimate moments just from Diana's memoir. Like I'm like, no way.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
the Crown?
No, I haven't watched it.
Okay.
I hear like a lot of really good things about it, but I also read that like the people or the producers for The Crown are like, hey, by the way, British people, like this isn't real. Like this isn't, they keep being like, oh, you're doing this wrong or this was incorrect, and they're like, once again, this isn't real. We're fictionalizing.
So fun fact, the actor that plays Margaret Thatcher is Gillian Anderson. She was in a relationship with the creator, and the creator was the husband of Margaret Thatcher in this latest season. So they were together. They were also together in real life, and he casted her even while they were in a relationship, which was a perfect casting. She blew it out the water with Margaret Thatcher. She's definitely getting an Emmy. There's no way she's not.
Oh my God.
You'll love it whenever you get into it.
She's fantastic. There was like a murder.
Stella Gibson, The Fall.
Yes.
I love that show.
So good.
That was before 50 Shades of Grey, and I'm pretty sure they casted him because of that show.
Yeah, I wonder too, because I'm always like, I wonder about like, I don't know. Now I'm bringing it back to Armie Hammer, and I can't believe
you're a real film buff. I love talking movies with you. Like, I can mention like almost every movie, and you're like, yeah, like we could like we would kill it at like 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, like in like a trivia night or something.
That would be so much fun.
That would.
I would love that. But also, I tend to like choke really.
Me too.
For those things. Like I was on my friend had a podcast, and it was supposed to be specifically for true crime. And it was like a quiz show, and I was like, "Oh, I know true crime." And then I went up there, I didn't get any answers right. It was like
I would have said Stabler for every answer. Stabler, Stabler, Stabler again. No, I love true crime, but even that, it's kind of like Marvel. It's like, God damn, like how many Law and Order episodes am I gonna watch?
You're right. You're not wrong. It's true.
But sometimes people innovated a little bit, like Mindhunter. Speaking of David Fincher, he did an excellent job with that. That's I know, and that's him. But I don't blame him though. I don't blame him. It's kind of like Noah. What's his name? The guy that does the adaptation of Fargo. He said the same thing. Like we don't want to bring out the show when we don't have a real story. So
Right,
David Fincher, he even said that he had to rewrite. Not even rewrite. He said there was no script. He said there was no script in season 2. That he hated the edits so much that they were working without a script for many episodes because he had just scrapped it. And so not that they were like improvising, like maybe they were, but like he said they were, and he even said that he knows he has a reputation of being difficult. And he said, I think people need to, have a break from me from that show because I really taxed a lot of people on that show. And I definitely can picture that.
Yeah. I think that's great, though, to have that self-awareness, to be like, because I feel like a lot of really difficult directors are only talked about behind their backs, or not behind their backs, but like without them in the room. And for him to know and acknowledge that and like work on giving people a break, like, oh, that's great. But, I would love to see more Mindhunter. I get it, though. I get it.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I hate to get all, like, woke feminists on everybody, but I would like to know, is there a female actor out there that you would like to work with in the future, too?
That's another great question. There are so many talented actors right now.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And like I said, even though they're not getting the awards they deserve, there's so many female directors out there. So many. And again, this is like pie in the sky, because I don't know what the story would ever be, but Frances McDormand, like, nice. Oh my gosh, she's one of my favorites.
She's so powerful. And she doesn't push anything that she does in any of the scenes. It's just real. Like, it's like every scene in every movie I ever see her in, she's just showing her humanity. And that's all I want to do,
Yeah, and she's won a few Oscars, and rightfully so. She's incredible. 3 Billboards, Fargo. I think the last time she won and the Best Picture one was Fargo, I think in '94. And I know we're like nitpicking now because that's in the breath that she's in. She's in that echelon. So you can't just be like, well, I just hope she wins. No, like you're like matching it up like, well, she won for Best Picture that year. So there's a big, strong chance. I haven't seen Nomadland, but there's a big, strong chance. I know she had a chance with 3 Billboards, which was my pick, by the way. I think Shape of Water won instead, which was a good pick. Guillermo del Toro, I'm a big fan of him. Yeah. I think that was the winner that year instead. But I definitely picked 3 Billboards. And I have a feeling I'll be picking Nomadland too because I am a huge Frances McDormand. And one more question before we go, actually. Yeah. What did you think about when she won last time, the Rider Clause?
I don't. What are you referring to?
I'm so sorry. And she kind of laid back from it. She kind of laid back, so she hasn't really been promoting it. But when she won the Academy Award for 3 Billboards, Best Actress, but we say actor, but in the Academy they say actress. And again, she was my favorite. The movie was excellent, so good. As a matter of fact, Woody Harrelson got robbed. Good job, my man Sam. Wow, how did I forget his name? I love him. He just won. But anyway.
Oh, he's great. Jojo Rabbit. What is it? Oh my God.
I know, he's amazing. Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell. What was my question? Oh, yeah. So Rider Clause. So the Rider Clause is similar to what Regina King, like she's putting into motion without saying a Rider Clause. But she's just mostly saying it for female, which is obviously a righteous cause. You don't need to expand it any more than that. Women need to be more behind the camera. But as far as the Rider Clause is concerned, Michael B. Jordan is another big promoter of it. It is to have diversity in at least I think it's 50%. At least 50% diversity in every facet of the production. Otherwise, she will not. And she said she doesn't do it anymore. But I think Michael B. Jordan still does it, and a few other actors. They will not participate. They will not sign the contract for the film or the project if there is not at least 50% diversity on set, behind the camera, in the camera. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So she doesn't do it anymore.
She doesn't. She was in an article recently saying that she believes in the essence of it, but she said that put me in the category of one of those dumb rich people that just had a lot to drink and fucking just blabbed it out. She goes, I was talking about it with someone, and I was very passionate and hearing it. And so I had a lot of champagne at the Oscars. And I was because I respect Frances McDermott. So I respect her candor. That's great. But I really was into it. I was like, what? Frances McDermott? I'd never heard of this. Blah, blah, blah. Like, good job. Like, righteous on. But I also appreciate, again, her refreshing honesty, saying, like, yes, I still believe in the base of it, the core principle of it. But I think I jumped the gun in trying to, like, make it a movement.
Oh, that is interesting. I don't know. So she's still for it, basically. It's just something that
I'm not trying to get you in trouble with SAG, by the way. I'm not trying to be like, I'm not working with her. Like, but like, no, how do you feel about like Michael B. Jordan and people like Frances McDermott who were, you know, at least publicly promoting it at one time? How do you feel about it? You don't actually have to like practice it in your own profession, but how do you feel about them doing it at least?
I think it's for sure like an important cause. Maybe the only reason it wouldn't make sense for them is the logistics. And you know, obviously there are only so many, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe as an actor that successful, like you can say these things and make these requirements in your contract and that kind of thing. But I feel like there's so much that's out of control of even the actors, those big actors, that I don't know, it's really hard. I would do it. If I could, I would do it. There's no reason not to. There are enough talented people of all walks of life, of like all ethnicities, all backgrounds here. There's no excuse. It's not like, you know.
Now it's a requirement for the Academy, by the way. It's funny that I mentioned that because that was not the requirement when she mentioned that. Oscar So White, all that, Chris Rock.
Right.
Yeah, so when she mentioned, now it's a requirement. It's not called the Rider Clause. Now, in order to be considered, you have to have a certain percentage of diversity. Yeah. So they're putting it into play, and I don't think it's like all throughout the ballot yet. But within a few years, they're going to solidify that, and it's going to be a major requirement, which I don't think is a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal to include people. Like you said, there's so many talented people. I remember, and he's my favorite comedian. That's why I love to quote him. He was like Brad Pitt in The Mexican. He goes, that was filmed in L.A. You couldn't find a fucking working Mexican actor out there? Like, that's mad lazy, and I agree with him. There's, I watched the show Atypical. That's a pretty good show. And he is not on the spectrum in real life. Not to say that like people shouldn't play people with disabilities and shit like that, but at least try. Right. If somebody was playing you, Serena, I would at least want them to like, you know, hit some check boxes of like who you were and not 100%. Try to get like ScarJo playing you and shit like that. She's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, but she shouldn't be playing you.
Yeah. And I think that with that, whatever iteration of it is out there, whether it's the Rider Clause or that requirement, like, I think it is important to have it, just because, like, you see a lot of these big actors like Brad Pitt and Frances McDormand, Scarlett Johansson, like you said, and they are there because they are commercially, like, beautiful to the industry, you know, like they will make you money regardless of what the movie is or what the.
That's why Tina Fey was installed. That's exactly why Tina Fey was installed. They could have had another black person playing that voice, and they even joke about it in the movie. Like, people feel comfortable with a middle-aged woman playing that voice. Right.
Yeah, exactly. I know she mentioned that in the movie. But yeah, so I think it is important to like, okay, well, let's figure out a way to represent other people, since obviously most of the big A celebrity actors tend to be like white cisgender, you know, like I think it's important to do that because the stack is so heavy on one side of, like, you know, the Brad Pitts and the Jennifer Anistons. Yeah. And, you know, they're already up there and they're going to make money no matter what because people want them because they make money. And it's just like a back and forth of that. So no, I totally agree with it. I have no problem with it.
Hell yeah.
And I think it should keep going.
Great. And so let's get out of here so that you can continue your acting career. We can't keep you here forever. You'll never get a gig ever again. Right? We're gonna trap you here. You're just and now you're our forever guest, and you just quit acting right now.
Yeah.
Shifting career right now. You got
Only
the background for it.
Yeah.
Thank you. You got the background for it, right? You can do potting all day with that background, with your beautiful decor in your apartment. Congratulations making that move. Yes, and thank you and congratulations again playing with these great heavy hitters. I don't expect anything less. And I definitely don't expect anything less going forward. You're going to make great moves. I hope to get you back on the show again one day. I haven't had anybody back yet, but you're somebody I would look forward to because I know you're going to be doing great work to show off. And you showed off great stuff here. Again, Henry Danger, Magic Funhouse, the new movie that's out right now. Again, you can go rent that on Amazon Prime or Apple, or go to the movie theaters if you're gonna try to rough it out with a mask. There are some states that are dumb enough to do that, but not dumb enough because I do want people to get some box office money in there for you and the people that you work with. And that's about it. Is there anything else that you would like to say that we're missing?
No, this has been great. I would love to be back on again and have us talk movies.
Yes, I know you're perfect to talk about movies. I said that before, and I really, really meant it. And I love you said that. I know. It doesn't matter. Website, Instagram. Where can we find you? Where can we find you? And where do you want us want you to find you? Where should we look away? No, I'm joking.
Don't look at my Parler account. I'm just kidding. You can find me on Instagram at Serena K. Laney. I also have a website, serenalaney.com.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not on Twitter as much, but I do have a Serena K. Laney Twitter handle.
I do. I follow you on there, yes. I do have you on Twitter.
Yeah.
That's right. There were like actor shout outs and stuff like that. And I was always liking them. I was like, yes.
I love that.
That's right. Be a fan of Serena. Get on that. Why are you not a fan of her yet? That's how I do it too. I'm just like this. When I read to, I'm like, why did you just do this today? What is wrong?
Your mouse is like damaged because you're
It is. I know. Oh man, I feel bad for that mouse. Anyway. Anywhere else? Are we missing anything? Is that it?
No, that's it. That's what I am.
Right. Cool. So you can find this episode. It's going to be on YouTube soon. This week, it's going to be on your favorite downloading streaming channels, whether it's on Spotify, Google Play, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. We're on it all. SoundCloud. We try to do it all. We try to get it to you in your ears and your eyes on YouTube as best as we can. On social media, we are stillvinsane. Also, Keep Up NYC for Instagram, Keep Up NY for Twitter. Keep Up Shut Up is our Facebook fan page. Again, you can type in stillvinsane and find me almost anywhere. I'm even on Pinterest. I'm even on the new Clubhouse app. I'm still trying to figure that out. Someone invited, I think I downloaded it myself, and it was like, I don't think you were supposed to do that. So now I got the invite. So when I click into the invite, I probably will have a better success with that. So yes, again, catch us on social media. Catch Serena Serena K. Laney on Instagram. Again, check out her studio that she shouted out. Which studio is that, please?
Studio 24/7.
Studio 24/7. Yes, they're getting her great work, so they definitely deserve that shout out. Go on serenaklaney.com, stillvinsane.com. It's all the same. Getting really good content out there, guys. Here we go. You better shut the fuck up, listen up, and keep up with Serena Laney, our Walk of Fame guest, and Stillvinsane. Over and out, homies.